trying to figure out why these, why there's no power. I saw that camera 6 was listed, the MAC address appeared on the OBSBot center. Right. But it's wireless. Right, because I'm not getting any data transfer. When you get the green light on the camera, does that mean it's not being powered by the PoE? No, it just means that it's on. It's on, okay. Transmitting. And if you go down there and look, there's no data transfer. It's not on your switch either, right? Because there's no data transfer there. You reset it a couple of times, I imagine, right? I should get a data transfer regardless. All I know is
It's your food.
Oh, great.
Breakfast and your coffee.
Thank you.
You're working, Jerry?
No.
Getting it?
No.
Jiggling your cable.
Could be the cable. I don't know if the cable was ever used.
The ladies have asked for chalking out so that they don't stand in the camera.
Okay.
So I did it on that green where I did it like a couple feet, but with this one a little off center, it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah. Well, then I have to be here.
Something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, if the jack is just a bit, I mean, it doesn't have to be, because the camera's way over there.
Yeah.
We can miss it.
All right. So.
I don't want to bother you with shit, but where's our lunch pail?
Sheila, good morning.
Good morning, Heather. No, it's not. No, it's not. Good morning, how are you?
Okay.
I know. I have a start kit, and I was going to put it in here just full of alphabets, and of course I couldn't find it. And she went too late this morning, but what's the name? Susie Houston has like little haircuts. Like this, and I've got those. Looks pretty.
It's nice just the way it is.
I tried really hard not to spill coffee on my shirt.
Oh,
Very
God.
careful.
Please don't worry about it. Please don't worry about it.
game.
Yeah.
I still gotta get. Want me to try running another cable to 5?
In a minute.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay, so there's that. There's that. I guess we can turn. Say, which one has the blue hat? Your name is?
I'm Morgan.
You're
Morgan.
Morgan.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Morgan.
Blue hat.
Yeah, I got it right.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to talk to him. Introduce myself. I'm doing advanced journalism here.
Oh, the wire. Isn't that a?
Is it bothersome to her?
No, because if the ball goes there,
It won't hurt
it's
it.
in the play though.
It won't hurt it.
But if we hit the jack there, don't we have to?
I understand. Let me work on it.
Yeah. That in baseball, you know, if it is obstruction.
Right. We just need to put the
It's not that we want to be funky. It's just that the jack is there. Needs to be measured. Yeah, yeah. This is our first one here. Like we're just starting right now. Thank you.
What I said about how they play with that?
San Diego. Yeah. You have it?
Let's figure this out. Great idea to try it short range.
Where are you? Huh? I'm from Long Beach. Oh, nice.
Where are all those yellow boxes? Must be on the other side of the
Yeah.
tent.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice work. Yeah. New York. Yeah.
That should be good now. Look at this. Got to restrict any movement when the jack comes back there. If it does, it's a big pile of cement. Good, Kelly? Or you're still trying to tweak it?
just trying to make it straight.
Okay, thank you.
That's the cable.
Let me see if the, I don't know where the obspot center is now.
And here I can.
I'm not sure.
I got it for you. Scott, you can. We're live, so whenever you want to start talking.
Well, they're just finishing up the first one of the trials. So.
Is that the first time this cable was used?
Yeah. Yeah, it's back there.
Everything was wired,
Yeah.
Let me program it so it should maintain its IP address anyway. So
Yeah.
let's do that setup.
You have another cable for me to run, Gary?
Yeah, let's not worry about it now. We'll do it during the second game.
Which you pulled that from here, this side, right?
Yeah.
So it's 6 actually, camera 6.
Yeah. That's right here.
Okay.
Read that IP address 192.168.
146. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll just run a new wire in.
So that black cable I saw curled up in there should be long enough, right?
Yeah. Well, we can do it during at the second
Yeah,
game.
and because I wanted to get the box out of the way, so I put them just on this
Okay,
shed, the shed right here.
I found them now.
So we can
So
do
we're
it
gonna
during
just-
the second game.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Don't need that.
Which headsets are we? Is it this one? All right, hello. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Laguna Beach for the Laguna Beach Open Women's Pairs. We're going to have 4 10-end games of 3-ball pairs today. We'll be bringing you 4 games, including what should be the championship match at the end. In addition to 4 games, 10 ends, 3-ball pairs, it's Swiss style, so that after they'll, we don't know who we're going to get for the second, third, and so on games because we're going to be rotating them around. So as soon as somebody wins, so the top 2 play each other after the first game. So it'll be 1 again, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So they'll be constantly reshuffling the teams or the players that they play against. It's not like a fixed draw like they have usually in some tournaments where you know who you're going to play, or even if you win, you know you're going to play. So our first game is going to be between the Quimby twins, Morgan Quimby and Megan Quimby, versus Flora Wright and Trisha Kwan. We're still showing you. Ladies are still just finishing up their last trial in. And we'll be getting started in a moment. Okay, here we go with Trisha rolling the track. And Flora will be centering it.
Either give me the camera switch of view or
So again, if anybody happens to be new, you can see there's a yellow dot. So first the players place the mat, which has to be in the center. And then they roll the jack, which also has to be near the rink. So right now the ladies are checking to make sure that Trisha actually got the jack in the center, or in the rink, I should say. So that's what they're checking. Seem to think that it's out. Okay, so because Trisha threw it out, then the mat is somewhat forfeited, so the Quimbies will take over. So this is Megan who will be rolling the jack. And Morgan will center it. And it needs to... So again, just like this is the start of play, Morgan... So it's got to be in the middle of the rink. And that's part of the, you can see with Flora and Trisha were trying to go long, and Morgan and Megan are wanting to go short. And then it still reverts back to Trisha going first. So here we go, first ball of the tournament. A few yards through. Not terrible, better there than short. Megan's first. Also pretty good opener. I think Trisha decided to switch hands. Let's get good weight there that time. No, she went the same way. I think she was just, Morgan just kind of moved into her, asked her to move because she was probably using the boundary marker, and Morgan was in her line. So Megan second again, it's 3-pole pair, so I really want to try and get bowls in the head. The sooner the better. Not a lot of things that are going to close things up as much. Trisha just got good weight, just needs to take a little more grass. She should be fine. Yeah, just a little too much. And Megan's third. Not a bad spot. I think Flora's... you can see it. It's going to be natural for every once in a while. Ladies are used to playing 4 bowls, and so with their third bowl. It's interesting. Let's see what color works for me today. Yeah, yellow might be good. So here's a nice little triangle that the Quimbies have, as well as holding one. So it'd be good to try and draw one and see if you can get one in here. All right, so here's 4. Yeah, I'm sure Flora's just going to be trying to play and just trying to beat this ball here. It's close. Nudged it, but not enough, I don't think. Kind of changed the position of the triangle, but Morgan will still probably be playing the forehand. Yeah, she is. Again, she's got this nice back ball here, so she's just looking to try and see if she can get to the jack and move it there.
Megan.
So here's the floor. And try again. Pretty good ball here. Oh, pretty two good bowls there by Floor. Don't know if she got shot. Megan's having a look. She thinks Floor did do it. That's so now Morgan's just probably going to try again. Just trying to arrive on this ball or get to the jack. She's just come up a little short and narrow. If I think they're switching over because the ball is right here, so you don't want to push that in. Don't want to push that ball in, so they're just going to try and come around to the other side. Even just anything to just try and stay high, stay on this side, so that you don't move the jack over. Oh. Not bad. I mean, she finished short, so at least she didn't cause any damage. So, all right, last chance here for Morgan. I think pretty sure that they're down one. Megan seems to think that they're down one. I think she's a little narrow with this. All right, we'll just double check and make sure that it's one for Floor and Tricia. Don't know if they're going to measure anything. Yeah, they're going to measure just to be sure. And it is one for Wright and Quan. They'll go up 1-0. First score in this 10-end game. Well, I got to keep my tradition in place. See a definite distinction. And Floor and Tricia really wanted to kind of go long here. Yeah, we were having problems with the cameras, and we're still kind of having a little bit of an issue, but we're working on it. Steve is. All right. Yeah, we're still having a little bit of a problem with that camera. It's just a little too high. We're trying to see if we can get it adjusted. But Tricia put in a really nice ball right next to the jack. So Megan can is going to try and be a little positive. Nope, a little short here. Tricia thinks the ball's their way. Let's see what I can do here to try and so it's let's see. I'm gonna try and see if I can recreate the head here. This is gonna be interesting. All right, so there's the jack, and then Floor's first ball is here, and her second ball is here. And Megan's got a couple short ones. It's not working. Blue? Blue. Megan's got a couple short ones like this. rolling with it here. And so she's kind of gotten in both draw lines now. So now Trisha's going back to her backhand, which is where she had her first ball. There we go. Now we got at least a view here. Yeah, that works. You can kind of see the head there. Yeah, really nice there by Trisha. You can see all the balls. Yeah, that works really well, guys.
I'm gonna go down and tilt that camera.
Just move the tripod in.
No, just move the head.
Yeah, so there's Megan again. Really needs to make sure she's up to the head. At least she hit her own. So got a couple solid thirds there. So we got started a little late again. Technical hurdles, but we got a minute. So thanks to Gary Tunin and Sheila Conti were here to help us set up, as well as Kelly Warren. And then our team in the booth here, and Steve Narmontes. Joe Narmontes also gave us a quick hand before she was playing. She's playing next door. Steve Narmontes on the camera. Gary Barnes, our technical guy and producer. And I'm Scott Roberts, your announcer. We'll be here all day today. Flora's just trying to shoot this gap here. She's got room on either side. She just doesn't really want to. She can afford to be up and through because there's nothing behind. She came up short. I mean, there's no danger back in here. Morgan really needs to be up into the head here. They got 3 short ones from her sister. Yeah, not bad. All right. So now there's, still got 2, and really Flora would be good to put one here. Can I come up to it is good, and it's fine. I mean, because there's nothing in the way here. As long as she's between these 2 balls, that would be good. Yeah, that's fine. That's a good ball, and it just kind of sweetens the pot here for all the balls. And if she hits the jack and moves it into there, it just increases the count because there's nothing in there. I'm pretty sure it's just 2 now. I don't think Megan liked it. Not bad with the weight. I mean, really, she needs to be like a yard through. She needs to kind of disrupt this pile. Megan. Flora's got no fear. As long as she gets into this little trough, she should be good. And she just came up a little short. And that same trough is the one that Morgan really needs to get through. And now she doesn't really have anything in this triangle, so that's kind of dangerous too. Really just kind of wants to try and arrive on it. Would be good. Yeah, just kind of missed it narrow. It's probably going to be 2. Let's double check. 2 it is. So 2 more for Wright and Quan to go 3-0. In this first game at the Laguna Beach Women's Open Pairs. Once again, if you're joining us late, they're going to play 4 games today, 10 ends of the 3-ball pairs, and it's a Swiss format. So after each one of the games, they'll take a little bit of a longer break while they wait for the last game to finish, and then they'll recalculate and kind of find the standings from every game. So after this game, the biggest winners, so to speak, will play in each other. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they'll reconfigure after every game, with the only change being that they'll, in case somebody's already played each other, then they'll make an adjustment. I don't know, tournament director Randy has got it all figured out, and he's got a computer program for all that, so. All right, I called for an umpire, so Gary abandoned ship so he can do his duties. But here's Trisha's first one. Again, not bad. Just, at least she's behind a couple yards though. Yeah. Let's see if Megan can get one here with it nice and open. A pretty good opener here. Gonna make it all the way. Pretty good. Trisha needs to keep on coming. Yeah, just a little short. Not quite. I think Quimby's are still holding here. Oh, this is good by Megan getting something behind. Since she was kind of short in the last end, it's very good to get one through. It's all right. Trisha just kind of wants to play through her own. It's on the running surface mostly, so she can hit anything like a yard over, drawn to the jack, or a little behind, transfer that weight to her own bowl and push it up. And just a little too heavy here is all. I think she kind of went for like a heavy promotion weight. She could have just done a draw, and then if she would have got it clean, she would have got shot, or enough weight like that, she would have touched her own. So I hear Megan just wants to kind of split the difference between her two bowls. That'd be a pretty good home for it. I want to come across the head and hit the white. I don't want to hit the inside of that. Okay, she got away with it. But need the target a little bit bigger for floor. So, floor, they've got a decent lead and they're just one down. Not a lot of danger here. These two bowls are basically touching, so you don't, any weight on it is going to transfer from one bowl to the next pretty cleanly. So I think better play is like if you're thinking this kind of weight, just like maybe no more than a yard behind. In fact, I'd be thinking, something that's, when you're down, better for a skip to just kind of be playing through with your first one. So she just wants to hit the pile of these two bowls that are just right here. Either she's going to hit those or draw it in if she misses everything for a shot. Flora's thinking of going the other way, which is not bad either, just because, this was already shot, so if she hits it, she hits it, so it doesn't really matter. And maybe she just found that she likes that hand. That's one of the things a lot of people do is, like, if you really like this hand and you don't like this one, and they see this bowl here, they think, well, I can't play that way because it's in the way. But in this case, it's already shot, so, and with the situation that they have, they could probably get away with it, and it's not the end of the world. All right, here's Morgan. After Flora was a couple yards through. Morgan with a nice ball here. Might be two. Yeah, it's two now. So Flora just needs to draw between the two bowls. Take off a couple yards. Trisha giving her a nice little target there. This looks pretty good by Floor. Really good adjustment here. Great bowl. Great bowl, Floor. Take shot. And Morgan will be well served to stay positive. She can come to this bowl and push it out. She can hit her own up in. Also grab the jack. Three-way. As long as she's narrow. They're kind of coming across the head like to this kind of line. But she had, decent weight, nice positive weight, which is okay. Just kind of left it out a little bit. Now here's a little bit dangerous, but she played the same hand twice. The main thing is now you want to try and do the same thing and miss on this side, not this side, because you don't want to touch this bowl now. Before it didn't matter, now it does, because you're holding. It's all right. Yeah. Not bad, another bowl behind, it's okay. So See if Morgan can make a shot here. Get their team on board. Ooh. I think she's coming across and heavy. I don't think this is going to do it. Really doesn't want to touch this yet. That's right. So it's one more for Flora and Trisha. We'll go up 4-0 after 3. Can
You talking about on the concrete? I'll take a look. Tripping hazard on 6. In fact, we're not even using that cable. We can just take it down. Can you run and do it?
All right, here's Trisha's first one. Again, you see, again, Flora and Trisha are highly experienced players, and they definitely have a distance that they want to play, so they're kind of going more on the longer side. Trisha a little short there. Morgan's first. You're going to hit the inside. Haven't hit that a little too square. I think her weight was pretty decent. Maybe a little short. Just kind of missed her line. Yeah, good adjustment by Trisha. Nice ball there. Just, maybe a yard, 4 feet through. I don't think Megan took enough grass again. Didn't quite get there. Again, her weight's good, just not taking enough grass. If anything, she might be just like a foot or two short at most. Yeah, I think that's what Flora's trying to tell her, is you don't want to come narrow. And you can see balls kind of tend to collect, so it's like you get one short and then somebody hits it, and then pretty soon you've got a wall that they're collecting all the balls, and so that's why I'm trying to have her come all the way around and avoid don't come into the wall. Yeah, this is okay by Trish. A little heavy and behind, but that's all right. Main thing is she doesn't want to get into the wall. Morgan telling her sister, just make sure you take the grass here. Took enough grass that time. Started to come back. Just hung out a little bit. Steve, can you pan the camera, the back camera over just a hair? There should be a bowl like right here.
What do you want?
Yeah, just move the camera. Can you rotate it that way? Just a touch. Oh, the other way. And then but that's the right idea, just the other way.
Is that the right direction?
The other way. Exact same change, but just the other way. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Yep. All right.
Broadcasting yet?
All right, here's the floor. It's trying to draw one in now again. You don't want to come into the wall here.
I can bring you this.
All right. Floor pretty short, but maybe put something there on, but it didn't seem to affect Morgan any. She had a nice bowl, just needs a little drop, a little weight. And Floor just looking to draw one in here. Nothing particularly close. Just needs to add a couple. She had great weight adjustment on the last end, so. Yeah, another really good bowl by Floor. Her weight adjustment's been really good in this game. She kind of bailed them out on the last end. I think she's done it again here. All right, see if Morgan can match her. Rayla's got to get going. Looks like it's going to get wrecked on floors or come to the wall. Floor short one, yeah. Probably needed just like maybe another. I think that would have probably gotten to here, so I think she needs like another yard or so. Go to the yellow. Yeah, the yellow's better. Yeah, I don't know about. I think she's better off being back in here. And Trisha's putting one here, which is all right. But I mean, if you put one here and here, then you're just giving your opponents an elbow to use. I think you're better off just doing it again and staying in this zone. Just needs to slip that. I almost did it. Just didn't slip that, but now is really, now the wall is is grown. It's gonna make it really. It's got to look really bad from the mat for Morgan, and I'm looking at it, and it looks bad. She's trying to figure out what to do. I think they're thinking that she can try and come all the way around the wall and see if she can get in there. She really just needs to, even just to get here is enough to get shot. So if she can come around and just get to here, avoiding this bull is the main thing. All right, it's away. Let's see what Morgan's got here. Looks like it's going to clear the front. It just, yeah, just a little heavy. Probably going to be one. Let's see. They're taking a look. I think they're going to measure for, see if there's anything else. So I think if nothing else, I mean, she kind of, this bull was here and she hit it and it kind of moved in a little bit. So might have gotten second with that one. They're going to measure it now. Just one, yeah. So one more for Wright and Quan to go up 5-0 after 4. This 10-in match, first game of the Laguna Beach Open Women's Pairs. 4 games, 10 ends. you can see Flora was indicating, I want you all the way back to the tee. They really wanted to go long. She's just coming up a little short from that. But this is me trying to get something off the screen. Not trying to indicate there anything. All right. There's Trisha's first. It's pretty good here. Really good opener by Trisha. Really well done. See, but this should be an opportunity for Megan. I mean, it's really just kind of want to try and draw on this hand, and you're trying to finish like here, somewhere in this area, so you can hit the ball or you can hit the jack. But, and then if you miss, you're still in that spot there. So she's playing the correct hand, and her weight's pretty good. Yeah, it's good effort. Good effort by Megan there. All right. And Trisha probably wanted to try and either do the same thing, but she could use to get one back in here would be good. Or she could even play this shot first, but with her kind of weight to just kind of move it and tuck it around. Either one of these would be good. Yeah, pretty good effort. Second ball in the head, but again, now she's vulnerable. Now she's in addition to that same weight and getting either one of these, now she can hit the inside half of this and have it come across as well. And she owns the back at the moment. It's pretty close here. It's pretty good effort. Yeah, good ball by Megan. Really well done. See now, because now Trisha's two balls are short. Instead of having something back in here, now she's got two balls are short. At least she kind of got fortunate and didn't move it too far. See what now you can play. Trisha could play the same shot that Megan was playing. I think when Flora's trying to grab her, I think with this weight is good. She could play through and either get to the jack, get to the ball, push this up, or come off the inside of this ball. All with this kind of weight. I don't think. Not bad. I think that would have been okay with just a little more weight. Just a little narrower, a little more weight, but not bad. Another ball in the head, another ball in the area, and something behind the jack is good. So, Megan's going to switch over and needs to be a little careful because she doesn't want to touch this ball. I mean, she could have played the same thing and just shot the gap, but they're opting to switch sides, which is all right. And if she happens to get the jack, she can put it to her own here, but she doesn't want to touch this one in front. And that's unfortunate. See, that's the danger with kind of trying to switch hands like that, is you kind of need to know how to miss. I mean, if this is the center line with that ball there, it's one of the drills we have for coaches. You don't want to come across the center line, because that's what cost her, is because she hit that ball and moved it in, and now you can see she's down one when she was holding it in a good spot. And if she would have just taken a little more grass, even if she finishes here on this side, back in here, that would have been okay. It would have been a useful ball. As it is, now they went down in a situation where they can't really be giving away points. And she may have been trying, but to do exactly that. I mean, nobody's trying to push the opponent in, but sometimes you just, it doesn't work out. A little dangerous for Flora. She's going to stick on the forehand, but her danger is back in here when she's playing this hand, so she's got to be careful not to hit the jack. But I think she wants something back there. Yeah, she'd have to for being a little short. So I think this is the shot that Morgan wants to play, is to come through. All the way way down, Morgan. All the way down. All the way down. She had the right idea. You can see that right here is this is the what where they needed it. If she could place a ball here, then she could have picked it up. And that's the kind of thing that Flora wants to prevent. That's why I think there's a case to be made for Flora playing this hand through Trisha's bowl and trying to get over in here, in this little zone here. But she's opting to play here. Main thing is she wants to be behind the jack. If she's going to play here, be in this quadrant. You know, if she's going to come over here, don't touch the jack. This might work for her. Yeah, that's a pretty good home. At least instead of, what this bull does is instead of it being everything here is good for her, now it limits it to here. Now instead of Morgan being able to hit it as hard as she wants and get this whole thing, now she's narrowed it down to this box. I think she's narrow. She might even hit floors up. Not all the way in. But I want to take a look and see what the danger is. Yeah. It's like Trisha's kind of advising her, also saying no jack move, we don't want that. And again, the danger, I mean, I understand what you're saying, like, hey, let's draw a second one in here, but, you know, they don't really need one. And you'd be better off making sure you're behind, you know, again on this side, or again playing over here to come to this side. But the main thing you don't want to do is give them a winger. That's the worry I have with when somebody puts a foot link on the jack line is, okay, that's if I can get it here, but it's like no shorter than that. Because if you're here, then you get a wing ball that your opponent can use. So, all right, here's Flora. I think she's got a pretty good effort here. This looks really good. It just needs to be a little gentle, gentle. Yeah, see, there it is. There's the danger of playing that hand. She, you know, played a pretty good bowl. It just happened to hit the jack. And now the Quimbies are holding one, and they might want to pick this up. I don't see a whole lot of profit here. Yeah, I think that's wise. In this situation, I think she's going to have a look, but I think they're going to be in a good situation to just leave it be and take the one and run. I think it's one of the first tournaments for the Quimbies there actually, and you know, good sportsmanship by the whole group. Is I think their first tournament, so they're discussing and they want to know. And Tricia was just explaining kind of how it is. If you want to pick it up, then you just say how we're done, and then how it all works. So what they're saying is if you don't want to bowl it, which probably would be wise here, they're just picking up the mat. So they're saying, okay, we'll just count the head, which will be 1 for the Quimbies, so at least they get on the board. And they're down 5-1 after 5. And then they just kind of send the ball down just. I think, yeah, Trisha was waiting for the rake. You know, she's got it. So we're 5-1 after 5. while we're centering and getting the length, a big thank you to Arrow Bowls USA for their sponsorship and their use of their tent here, which is keeping us and all of our equipment working. You can see the tent in the background as well as us and the crew. So big thank you to Arrow Bowls USA. I think the ladies determined that the jack is good, and I think Morgan's given Megan a good sign. Not bad opener. Just kind of missed the line, but the weight was very good. See if Trisha can adjust to this shorter length here. Yeah, not too much difficulty. Good ball by Trisha. And Megan, I think, missed her line again. So floor indicated that Trisha was 2 feet through. To me, I would just do it again.
This camera's always off when you're on the mat, so don't worry about this camera when you're going.
Yeah, it's a good ball by Trisha. Really nice. Very difficult to try to adjust a couple feet and not over adjust. The natural tendency is you want to take 2 feet off and you take 2 yards off. And so Megan's opting to switch, which is not a bad idea. Just kind of think she was discussing, having a little discussion of trying to come with weight and hitting these balls on this hand. And she had been drawing here but going too narrow. So Trisha, see if she can put a third one in. Pretty two good balls there so far. She wants to try and do the same kind of thing. Pretty nice ball. 3 nice balls there. Again, right in the kind of the green zone of what you want. You really, I mean, we were trying to think like maybe get an idea to do it here. So if there's the jack, usually what we like to do with the green zone is say maybe like 6 feet, 6 inches, no more than that. And then trying to get her around behind if you're playing in this direction. Trying to get around behind, so just like a little semicircle. You know, with that being like, you know, whatever you're comfortable with, let's say a yard. But preferably the shorter the better. That's what we're trying to do. And so she's got 3 in that green zone there. Interesting that I'm putting the pressure on Morgan to try and get something in this little in between here. Another option for Morgan could have been to just kind of come with a little weight. You know, try and hit any. You know, it's not a lot of gaps in here. She's going to hit bull, jack, or either one of these bulls. That would have been good for her. Just going to see with 4 tries. You could see her. She could come to the back and kind of protect against it, or just draw another one. Again, really don't want to put one out front to give them something to use. You're better off being behind. And again, no jack movement, ideally. I think 4 is a little Morgan did want to come with weight. You can see how this, anything hitting the inside half of this bowl will redirect it into the head, and that's what you don't want. That's why you don't want to leave balls like this out here, and it's causing her to think. Now they're debating it. Instead, it's causing her to switch hands, so she's going to go to the back end and see if she can just kind of get into this pile, which is probably the better thing to do. And then any weight she wants, she could hit it, and it'd be good for her. Oh, she did hit it. Oh, nice try. Just a little narrow. It's at least 2. Don't know if it's 3. Yeah, and Flora again really doesn't want to move the jack back over here, so she's better off kind of targeting this bowl. Again, don't come across the center line, just trying to put one behind in this spot. She would be okay to put one back in here if she wanted to. Not bad, kind of might be forcing Morgan to switch hands again. If it was me, I'd be coming through with weight on this hand through here. You could hit this bowl. You could any of these would all be any of those would be good. You got a good chance, and this is your guide to be underneath it. I think that's what she's trying. Just wants some piece of this head. She got one out and tapped the other one. Pretty good effort there. But probably still down 2. Now Flora looking to draw again. She probably just wants to beat this ball. She can arrive on this ball. It's probably okay. Don't want to be flying at it, of course. She's jogging like she likes it, but I think she's come up short. All right, then have a look. I'm going to guess it's 2, but we'll see. So yeah, like this technique of getting a towel out so that you don't lose count. So we're going to give one away, then make sure. Yeah, so 1, and then they're measuring for the second. Two it is. So 7-1 after 6. Flora and Tricia, or the Quimby sisters. So again, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Laguna Beach Open Women's Pairs. I believe there's 18 teams here today. They're going to play. This is the first game between Morgan and Megan Quimby and Flora Wright and Tricia Kwan. Format for today, they're going to play 4 games, 10 ends, and obviously 3 bowl pairs, as you've been seeing, using the what's so-called Swiss format, which you have kind of winners playing winners. And Tricia been trying to go long, and she She went a little too long this time and put it in the ditch. So after this first game is over, against all the matches that are going on right now, should be 9 games, I believe. Then they'll put it all in the computer, and it'll pump out the results, and the teams that have the best record, including plus points, will play against each other, and we'll do that after every game. So I don't think he said, but usually for this format with 10 ends, it would be a 7-point plus maximum. I'll try and verify that in between. So it's very likely that there'll be 2 games that'll be max, say, at this round, and so the 2 teams, let's say there were 2 teams that were +7, then they would play against each other in the next game. And likewise, at the bottom of the bracket, the 2 teams that were -7 will play each other. So it gives you, after this first round, it gives you kind of somewhat competitive, or at least a plan to have competitive games, because people of kind of equal skill are finding each other. And the other thing is, at the end of the day, you should have the definite number 1 and definite number 2 after 3 games play each other for the title in the 4th game. All right. Jack is set. Again, the Quimby's going short since they had control of the mat, which has been their style. That hasn't seemed to bother Tricia and Floor very much. Tricia, though, is a little heavy with that one. A little 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards. And it seems to be very deliberate I know it's deliberate for Floor and Tricia to want to go long, and I'm just not sure about the Quimbies. They seem to be wanting to go short. Both ladies again about the same distance, about a little less than 2 yards through. And Tricia see if she can make the adjustment here. Pretty good second ball here. Yeah, that's nice adjustment there. I've seen that from both Tricia and Floor, and that's what you see with the better players and players of practice. That's the main thing, is they know that they can adjust. Now let's see if Megan can match her. Yeah, and again, you can see that, that's kind of what separates the people that have been playing a while and people in practice. It's that after number 1 skill is having a consistent delivery, number 2 skill is being able to adjust your line, and very importantly, adjust your weight. And that was a chance for both ladies to make it. Both first bowl was near identical, and Tricia definitely made the better adjustment. Now let's see if she can make another adjustment off her second to get close. Yeah, again, really good bowl there. And was it a perfect adjustment? No, but it was an adjustment in the right direction, and she didn't over-adjust, and she didn't come short. She got 3 bowls just barely off the center line, whereas Megan had her first one and her second was heavier. And she really needs to try and see if she can drop the weight and get it close. This is better effort here. Yeah, it's pretty good there by Megan. That's really nice there. Just kind of missed her line, which is another thing that you see, being able to be consistent delivery and put it on line. And the Quimbies have had a little bit of trouble with the line. But again, that's the kind of thing that comes through time and practice. And Flora and Tricia have had plenty of that. And Megan and Morgan is, I think, a new experience for them. So it wouldn't shock me. I introduced myself to them because I haven't met them before, but it wouldn't shock me if that was their first tournament, literally their first game in a tournament. Flora not wanting to, doesn't really need to do much. I mean, Tricia's been setting up pretty well all day. Yeah, short. That's one thing. If Flora really needs to, that I've been kind of consistent with this game, is her first ball has been a little off. It hasn't been quite, but then she's made great adjustments, which has kind of been saving her. But her first ball was either a little too tentative or too strong, and just and not missing by a little, missing by fair amount. So that'd be something good for her to work on. Is work on just trying to be solid with that first bowl. And Morgan a little heavy. I mean, they got big danger in the back, such as it is, but I don't think they're worried about Morgan coming through with any weight. Haven't seen it at all today. And if anything, she just had that one where she was just coming through with more of a jack or bull type of shot. Let's see if Floor can prove me right with a great adjustment here. Yeah, solid adjustment. And again, she's right pretty close on the center line. And that's again what you see with the people with a lot of experience is they're really close to the center line when the greens are nice, which they are here at Laguna. I think I've also seen the Quimby's kind of do a little bit of a flip with their delivery. But this might work out for Morgan. She's getting just need a little more. Probably going to make Floor switch hands. She's already done it. And again, she really needs to avoid jack movement. Like she gave it away on the fourth end when they were holding. So I think that's why Trisha's trying to get her to come out, because she doesn't want to, all that danger is here. She doesn't want to move it across. Just fishing here would be much better. Floor's got a pretty decent ball here. Yeah. Switched hands and had good weight there. They're kind of having a discussion. I'm pretty sure that last ball is shot. Don't know about the others to see what the count is, but I'm trying to listen in. Yeah. So Mega's trying to tell Morgan, you've got this other bull that's ours, then you could try and push it in, which kind of I agree with. I mean, they do have danger with behind, and this one's probably already shot, so she could play around it. It really kind of depends on which hand you like. She's got kind of options all over the place. Yeah, so she's going to opt to play that and see if she can just kind of get it around. She's giving her a foot for like kind of weight. It's just, again, see if she can get it underneath this ball. She's going to hit it square and not hard enough. Well, unlucky. Yeah, just one. It was one before and it just stays one. So one more for Wright and Kwan. They'll extend their lead out to 8-1 after 7 ends. Scheduled for 10. It would shock me if Floor and Trisha are one of the. I mean, there's lots of great teams that are out here for the ladies. But, like Floor and Trisha are trying to cash in this one. Not sure how many places they're paying. I guess it'd be 4 with 18 teams. At least 3. All right, here we go. Trisha, a little shorter, but kind of more of a middle jack this time. Yeah, pretty good opener there. Just a foot or so behind. Pretty good effort by Megan there. I like that she wasn't afraid of it and was kind of playing it up into it. That's good. too, and she knows it. That back bowl's never bad. See if Megan can make a little adjustment here, take a little weight off.
Prizes for the top three.
No. Yeah, so Gary's letting me know that it is 7+ points, and the top 3 teams are getting money. So out of the 18, the top 3 are going to cash in. So great ball there by Megan. See if Tricia can match her. Just sliding by. And they can see if she can do it again. Again, Tricia does not hold it, but she's in a pretty good position. See if she made it all the way down. That's a little short. Right. Might be the first time that Megan's actually been holding. See how Flora's first ball is this time. Kind of natural tendency to be short with her first one, and she, yeah, well short again. Yeah, shaking her head. And the problem with being short in your first one is now you're kind of in your own way for any ones that follow, and she'd be better off, especially being down, better off being through with her first. All right, here's Megan. See if she can promote that one. Slips it nicely. Oh, good ball. Just got around. Good ball though. Flora's not going to be short with that one. We're going to probably be good to either add a second or get one all the way in the back to kind of protect against Flora. Looks like she's kind of stabbing at it. She opted for kind of one in front, but I don't think that's going to deter anything. I think Flora's back on the draw, I think. Just needs to get her. Just needs to slip. Oh, just passed it. What a bowl by Flora. Holy mackerel. That was pretty good. I mean, any heavier, and she hits her own bowl. That was pretty stunning of a bowl there by Flora Wright. That was, I mean, any heavier. I mean, and that great bowl. This visit to the head brought to you by Aero Bowls USA. Thank you to Aero Bowls for the use of your pop-up tent here. It's keeping us and the equipment safe. So thank you very much, Aero Bowls. They're paying you, Gary. Are they paying you, Gary, under the table? Is that what's happening? You're quick with that. You're quick with that button.
Over the table.
Over the table. Okay, yeah. The banner over the table. That's fair. feel bad for the Quimbies here. I mean, just when they had a little hope, you know, Megan had a just an absolute great draw. And then Flora happens to get her way, and it just, you know, you're thinking, oh, she doesn't really have a path. And she makes literally the absolute perfect bowl. And not only does she come in and pick up the jack, but she drags a little bit to get two and sent Morgan to the head to take a look, see what you can do. Morgan probably would, yeah, she's going to play this hand, probably trying to shoot this gap here. See if she can push her own bull into it or push this out. But she didn't have a lot of numbers, but that's what she's trying. Yeah, it's a little high. The right idea. I mean, it's again the kind of thing that's practice. So two more for Wright and Kwan. After again, I can't say it enough. A spectacular shot by Flo Wright, and they'll go up 10-1 after 8 ends. That's a good one to get on camera, Floor.
Am I doing okay?
Yes, you're doing quite well, thank you. Hopefully the chalk is helping.
That's exactly.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you've got that last shot in your mind now forever. That's stored on the internet forever. That's one of the best shots I've ever seen. All right, 2 more ends in this one. All right. Again, this is a good test for all the ladies here. You know, sometimes when the match is kind of, you know, not necessarily over, but you know, pretty close to the end, you really don't want to let up on the gas. Good time to make sure you just keep playing with the confidence you've been playing. Great opener again by Trisha. She's been pretty solid the whole game. Just constantly getting balls in the head, something useful. Yeah, not bad weight by Megan. It's again, just missing the line. I haven't. I mean, Floor's changing Trisha over, but she really didn't need to. She could have just played the same thing. Maybe take a smidge more grass because her weight's pretty good. Yeah, it's a good home here. Nothing wrong with that. You got something behind. Yeah, Morgan. Good indication. Just saying, you know, hey sis, take some more grass. This could be really good. This looks really good. Is she going to make it all the way? Great pull. Yeah, nice pull. Great line. Made that nice adjustment. Only maybe a foot and a half short. Yeah. So Floor's saying it's kind of up to you as to which hand you want to play, but I think Trish would be well served with playing just the same hand again. I'm not a big fan of switching hands unless you have to, and she didn't really have to. again, you see Trisha's, making an adjustment. She needed to make an adjustment, like drop, let's say, 5 feet, and she dropped the yard. So. Yeah, Morgan's saying I'll just put one right here. Megan just wants to try and touch her own or just slip it. That can be far away. Yeah, another good bowl. 2 good bowls there. Might be 2. I don't think so. It's probably just one. It just trickled by. All right. The floor would probably be playing on the forehand, and again, she does have everything kind of set up here. So she could afford this kind of weight. She could afford this kind of weight, and she can either hit the inside, anything from the inside half of this bowl, or picking up the jack. Don't be short with your first one again, Floor. Just come all the way up and through. God, she's kind of done it again. Just, I don't know if Floor will watch this later, but that's the thing she really needs to work on. That first ball's been consistently short. And it's one thing when you're holding a couple, it's another thing when you're down. But she made a miraculous recovery on the last 10. So. I know Morgan, again, she just wants to come do the opposite, come on the other hand and just kind of work on that ball. A little heavier than she wants here. But this is not terrible. It's one thing to protect when you're holding, but when you're down 9 with 2 ends to go, you really need to get balls to the head. Alright, Flora's going to try again. She needs to have maybe 5 feet or so. If she's on the draw. And pick up the jack, it works for her. Yeah, there it is again. There it is again. Just put it. She had everything on this side, and she just moved the jack right into that square. So now it's should be 3. Yeah. Megan's not asking for much. Anything over here would be great.
Yeah, 3. And just don't leave it out of bounds, though. So you might want to go this way. You know what I mean? Which way? Okay. Anywhere around there.
Yeah. The concern is, I think it's because the jack movement. I mean, the out of bounds line is probably, let's say, here. So the main thing is she wants to try and stay in bounds there. Pretty good effort here. It's a really good bowl here. What a bowl. Especially under the circumstances. Spectacular bowl by Morgan. Wow. Great. The floor is like, I already did my great shot. Now what? Now they come to look. So this is what they're discussing is, so if the jack goes out of bounds, which again the line is I think about right here, if the jack goes over then and out of bounds, then it gets respotted on the tee, which is what we call the mark that's 2 meters out, which is pretty much right on top of this bowl. So if it goes out of bounds, then it'll get respotted pretty much right next to Trisha's bowl. So that would obviously be good for them. But the worry is if you hit the jack and you knock it all the way back and stay in bounds, then that's where they're wondering about the best back bowl. And that belongs to the Quimby's back here. But really it's kind of more like, if it's here and this where the jack finishes here, then this bowl would be closer if it goes straight back. So, but she might, given the circumstances, she might be trying she could draw a jack or roll shot and just to draw it a yard through, or she could come full weight. Again, you can pretty much do what she wants to, give the score. Didn't miss by much. I think Flora was just trying to have a little fun there and see what she can do. especially when they had so many. When you have all those bowls, you know, she had 3 seconds because they were holding three, and if she managed to get the bowl out, and then you don't have to worry, like she knocked her own further away. Oh well, she still has second here. That gives Morgan a chance if she can draw another one inside of 2 feet, like she did with the last, then they'll get a second. But sometimes you have these real world situations where you want to try a shot. Pretty good effort. Just hung it out. So it's one for Morgan and Megan.
But the problem was is that the TV took a little while in the beginning. That's why we did a late start.
Okay, yeah. I give you my fusion.
Thank you.
There you go. Jones in charge.
We won't tell.
So
Just
a little
just roll.
once it's down, then nobody can stop you.
Yeah, just stay down.
So a little discussion here because there's a local rule they put in for the tournament that there's no jack after, but Randy, I think, is trying to stop him. So we're having a little discussion here. See what happens. All right, so technically, there's not supposed to. The rule was, as what I was starting to say, is that you're not supposed to have. Everybody else is done, but they were also were held up because we were messing around with the wires and everything, which kind of delaying them. So everybody else is kind of held up because of that. So it's an interesting little quandary, but Randy was here and he's okay with them going ahead to play. We're being bad influences here in the booth, letting them play here when they really shouldn't be according to the rules. But they also unfortunately had to. We were messing around with cables that we were trying to get right in the ditch, and we're kind of stopping them from starting at the same time as everybody else. So it seems only fair to let them be able to play this last end. But Randy's also right that we're not the authorities. He is. He's the tournament chair. Randy Hatfield, that is. So I think this is the appropriate thing to do is to just let them play. I would say let them play and like no visit to the head and just. All right, in the meantime, a couple good bowls by Megan. Trisha, good first bowl and an over adjustment with her second. So again, after this game, they're going to collect all the scorecards again. This is why he can't figure out. Nobody knows where they're supposed to go for the second game. So that's why you need to get all the games done, and then get all the scores in the computer so that they can figure out who's first and second and where they should be and so on. So Trisha with a really spectacular third bowl there. Really well done. Nice way to finish. Megan had 3 solid balls. And I think both of them, I just see them just needs a little bit work on their delivery to try and get it away more consistently. They just seem to be just kind of missing their line a bit here and there. So after this game is over, we'll probably have, I'm guessing it'll be like 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll have the second game of the day, and there'll be 4 games today that will be covered. This one is, now it's just about the plus points. Flora and Trisha are going to win this for sure. Yeah, again, it's just a little consistent, just experience. I think you can see the desire from the Quimby sisters, and it just seems kind of they're enjoying it, and it's fun and good attitudes. And just need the time and practice. And Flora and Trisha have plenty of that, and they're always out playing and practicing, and pretty much seasoned veterans at this point. Not bad by 4. A little bit off. But she doesn't need to make anything happen. I mean, they got the max with the plus points, so they're in pretty good position. Not a good try. Needs to touch one of these bowls to try and promote it. Pretty good effort. Flora really doesn't need to bowl this. They got 1 and they got the max, but she's going to do it. I think she's going to switch hands and try and see if she can come to that underneath the front black one. Try and shoot this gap here and see if she can get to this bowl here. She's very narrow, it looks like. But should be 1 more for Wright and Quinn, so they'll take this match 11-2.
Thank you.
So congratulations, well done, well done. So we'll be back in 15 to 20 minutes for game 2. And until then, we'll see you then.